You're welcome on board. Good afternoon. Aboshan Ewokesan, Fadu Keke, I greet you all. I be Ewodawe Okosubie. As you tune in, as you join us, please press the share button and join us to share. Aboshan Keke, I welcome you all aboard. I be Ewodawe Okosubie. Good afternoon, everyone. I greet you all once more. Thank you for joining. All right. Thank you for patiently waiting. Thank you for patiently waiting for me to also invite people from my side. You're all welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. In accordance to your time zone, I greet you all, audience out there. Yes, as you can see on your screen there, the topic for today is the fight and problem in Oba Palace of Benin is as unto when there was only one emir in Kano State, and such constitution that amounted so much intoxication power to the emir was reduced. How was it reduced? More emir were being created. So I'm going to discuss intensively and also narrate some history to us as concerning that, so that we will know what is going on in our state, Edo State, and what is going on in the Oba Palace of Benin. Please, as you join, endeavor to share. I also want you to share to Imasun Izoduwa, so he will come listen. You know, he's a very young boy who has no too much wisdom like that. The wisdom he only have is to twist people's history for the benefit of the Benin supremacy. Please share. I'm trying to invite some persons from my side. I've spent a lot of time now trying to invite people. But just give me like 2 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. Now, in the Oba Palace of Benin, this is not, when I come up for this broadcast, I always tell us that it is not a matter of rejoicing simply because it seems like as if there is chaos in Oba Palace of Benin. It is because we must make reference, we must teach people, sensitize them as unto what leads to the chaos, what led to the chaos, whatever chaos it is that is facing us. That is what this message is. For those of you that are Benins, take time to listen and listen attentively for your own benefit. You see, let us go back to Kano State. But before then, I want to talk concerning how it was in Kano then. In short, in the whole of northern part of Nigeria, there was only one emir. And by reason of that, that accumulated a lot of power. And that power eventually turned into intoxicated power. There was only one emir in Kano. But today, in North, so to say, today only in Kano State, I think you have more than 2 emirs there. So, what is happening today in Oba Palace of Benin, in Benin, is likened unto the case of Kano State. Imaswa Izodua, I want you to come listen to me. And those of you that are here now, I want you to share this broadcast to Imaswa Izodua. Because I have come across a series of his video these days where he is lamenting, where he almost cry in his video. But let me tell you something. There is never a day, there is never a time the table will not turn against the crooked people that sit to dine on the table. You know, the crooked people that sit, greedy and crooked people, crooks that sit to dine on the same table, no matter how long that their dining table have stayed, definitely the table will always turn against them. So, Imasun Ezodowa, this is not time to lament. This is not time to start trying to cover your mess. This is time for you to listen to the voice of truth. This is time for you to have a rethink, because you guys don't have precaution. You think you people have monopoly to do whatever you want to do. But as a matter of fact, truth will always fight for itself. It does not matter how long crooks have trampled upon people of justice, people of kind hearts, people of peace. It does not matter how long these crooks have propagated their conducts. So, Imasuen Izoduwa, I am very, very much concerned about you. My concern to you is that you should have the boldness to tell your people the truth. Not the kind of hypnotism that you are propagating, hypnotizing your people with half-baked knowledge. And your people are clapping hands for you, thinking that you are pushing their history. Although that has not turned to your history whereby you people try to twist the original history on ground so that your dominance will succeed. So it's your history, but it's not good for you. I'm also going to read some document out or some history book that are written by you people out to teach my audience this moment. So my people, what is going on in Oba Palace of Benin is that as it is now, more than 80 people, 80 enogies, 80 dukes that were created artificially, illegally by the Oba, 86 of them have signed documents to say they don't want to be under the control of Oba no longer. And one of the reasons these 86 enogies, one of the reasons these 86 enogies signed these documents, I have it here. Let me show you one of. Let me quickly show you one. But I'm going to read it out later. But before then, I want to. Oh, I think it's on my. It's on this phone which I'm using to talk to us now. It's not here. But I will post it up later. I will post it up. So one of the reasons is that these enogies are saying that for some years now, the Oba Palace, the Oba, the money that comes to him, the dues that comes to him from the state government, that comes to the Oba Palace, that comes to the royal house, only the Oba sat upon it. And we know that this money not be small money, and it did not start today. That is how it has been. And he also inherited it, that style as well. So he came and he continued on that kind of legacy. I am not here to canvass for the enogies, because these enogies are not original. And if you go to listen to Imasue, you will also hear that because these enogie have signed documents, 86 of them have signed documents to withdraw their services, their allegiance to Oba of Benin. So Imasue Izoduwa came up to start letting us, or to start emphasizing on the truth that we were saying before, that people were saying before, letting people know the true history of Benin, letting people know how these enogies were created, letting people know how the enogies are not even indigene of the community they were sent to go and become duke. You see, another falsehood there is that you are not an indigene of a community. And that community, in accordance to the ancient standards, they have the elderly person who is known as Odionwere. They have elderly person there that foreseen the community. The eldest man, the oldest man in the community is known as Odionwere, and he is the one that rule over the community as the head of the community. And undermining that, Duke were created and sent to such communities. And that community that this Duke are sent to, they are not mostly indigene of the communities. In the other hand, some of them will be direct brother to the Oba of Benin. They will be sent to those communities. Please share this broadcast so that more people will come join us. They will be sent to those communities. This is the oppression that has always been since Benin Kingdom, Oba dynasty came on board. If you look into this Benin Kingdom they have always talked about, is kingdom of hostility, is kingdom of oppression, His kingdom of violence that come from the royal house. His kingdom where people are used for human sacrifice. If you want to know about that, go and read the history, the historical narrative concerning Oba Of Benin and Osa and Osua. I posted it on this page not quite long. So you'll be able to read it like about 4 or 3 hours ago. I posted that history here on this page. So you go and read it so that I will not dwell on that particular one. Now, this is what has been happening. What is practiced in Benin is a kind of alienized culture. It's not really known to the origin, the aboriginals, the indigenous. We have 2 fractions of people in that Benin. I have to look for this document. Some came from Yoruba land. They are Yorubas. And those are the people that are they are now the ruling house of Benin. So they came. It was not really Benin before. It was Idu-Igodo-Migodo, although other people have left. The Esan abandoned the Idu-Igodo-Migodo. They went to go and have their own settlement alongside the Esans that were already settled. Now, let me look for something to read out to you, to let you know the people who are not actually, or some of the people who are not actually Benin people. What I am reading is not what was written by any Esan man. It's not what was written by me. Now, I'm going to take it from the history of Osa and Osua that came to Benin. Now, oral history, this is what I'm reading. It's Benin history book. Oral history of the Benin has it that Osa and Osua with a Laure of Use, listing the people, the immigrants that are now Beninese, together with Chief Bama Woes, then. These people are Beninese. I mean, they are not Beninese, but ancestrally they are Yorubas. I'm not reading my history book. I'm not reading history book that is written by Esan. I'm reading history book that is written by Beninese. Oral history of the Benin has it that Osa and Osua with a Laure of Use, we all know the Laure of Use, a Nogie of Utese, which is Ogiotese, Uzama of Ohuhen, Olobia and Oludani. These people, they are in Benin, they are now royalties in Benin. Now, these are the people, according to this book, they originally came with Oromia from Ife to Benin in 13th century. The 2 of them left with Oromia. The 2 of them, Osa and Osua. When Oromia came, when these people came together with Oromia to Benin, Osa and Osua, who initially came together with these people, I'm calling the Bamawo, the Laure, the Utense, the Usen them. As they came, they were together with Osa and Osua. Who are Osa and Osua? They are cannibals. They are human eaters. They came, but Oromia did not stay. Oromia have to go back to where? To Ife. And Osa and Osua, the 2 of them went with Oromia. While others that came together with Oromia, they stayed. Now, the 2 of them left with Oromia, who did not stay, but were later sent back by Oromia to be advisors and aiders of his son, who became Eweka, to be advisor and aider to Owomika, his son, who became Oba Eweka. Owomika, who became Oba Eweka, actually began Oba dynasty in Idu-Igodo-Migodo. This is where chaos came. Before Oba dynasty came to Idu-Igodo-Migodo land, there was no such as barbarism. There was no such as ungodliness. There was no such as inhumanity. There was no such as any manner of cruelty that we see that made people left that Idu-Igodo-Migodo. Some of them went to go and look for their own settlement, to go and form their own kingdom, while Esan people went back to their own kingdom, their own settlement that was already on ground before the Idu-Igodo-Migodo was formed. So, prior to the Idu-Igodo-Migodo, in that Idu-Igodo-Migodo, there was no hostility, there was no cruelty, there was no human sacrifice. It was not known. It's these people that are now in the ruling house that brought human sacrifice to the land. It's these people that came and started invading other kingdom for territorial expansion of the kingdom which they now turned to Benin kingdom, their own kingdom. They now turned it to their own personal kingdom. So being that they turned it to their own personal kingdom, they were invading other people, holding other people hostile, using people for slave. They refer to them as royal slave. These are slaves that they hold hostile to serve the Benin people all their life. Till that invasion, the British invasion, came. So this is the barbarism, inhumanity, cruelty, ungodliness that was brought by this ruling house that are now gallivanting as royal highnesses and royal majesties. This was how they came in, and I am reading their own book, the Osa Heritage, the twin title of Osa and Oswan in Benin. The twin title of Osa and Oswan in Benin. Now, let me now continue what I was reading. Now, oh, sorry. I just went off from that document. Let me quickly find it up. The thing just stripped off. Okay, I got it back. Now, the two of them, Osa and Oswan, left with Oromiyan, who did not stay, but were later sent back by him to be advisor and aiders of his son Owomika, who became Oba Eweka the first in about 12 AD, 12th century. Oswan arrived Benin 3 months earlier than Osa. He came through Ogoton and arrived Benin City through Ogbanoron. Behind the Benin airport, he was finally taken to the Oba in the palace and was well received after telling the Oba his mission, what he came to do. The Oba then settled him at Urokbota, where Benin City Council, formerly known as Benin Divisional Council Secretariat, where that Benin Divisional Council Secretariat is. His brother Osa later joined him and was settled at Igunoemon. The two of them were made priests of two deities, Osa to be in charge of Ora, while Oswan was for Uwen. These two deities were always served with human beings occasionally. These two deities were always served with human beings. Occasionally, when human beings were offered as sacrifice to these gods, were when there was too much sunshine, raining, thunder, and lightning, as well as prevention of war and epidemic, and for the general health and well-being of the Benin Kingdom. The two of them were said to be seizing people from the streets and eating them. Children were restricted from playing in the street of Benin so that the two brothers might not kill them for food. Now, this is how this barbarism came. What you are unknowingly proud of today as Benin Kingdom is by reason of your ability to read what was on ground. Is your ability to understand what Benin, your inability, so to say, your inability to read what was on ground, to understand what Benin is. Benin Kingdom is nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to be happy of. It's a whole lot of hostile. My ancestors, your ancestors, were head hostile. If not for that, the Esans were great, they would have been able to hold the Esans hostile. The Esans always fought and defeated them. People like the Urobo, people like the Afemai, people like the Shekiris, they tried to conquer them. They used them for sacrifice. This is their history book that I am reading. And when Oba dynasty came, you heard that when Osa later came back from Yoruba land, they took him to Oba Palace. And this Oba Palace that they took him to, remember that this Oba, the Oba that is now, that was not there was no such as Oba. They only came from Yoruba land, and Oba dynasty began with Oba Owomika, which became the Oba Eweka the first. And they know that their brother have come, which is Osa and Oswan. So when Osa and Oswan, when Oswan returned back, when Osa returned back, they took him to go and show his brother, his big brother, who has now turned to Oba, who his ancestors turned to Oba, who his brothers turned to Oba. They took him there, and the Oba wholeheartedly received him because he's his Yoruba brother. And go and went to, he gave him his own territory. That was where he stayed. And they built up a shrine and have deities that they serve humans to. They sacrifice humans to. You know why I am very, very bold in reading what I am reading or explaining what I am explaining? I know that wherever you want to drag me to, I have all this evidence at my disposal to bring out, to say this is where I am reading from. And look at the author of the book. It's non-Esan, non-Igbo, non-Yoruba, or it's Yoruba to say, because these people, they are not Yoruba ancestry. So this is what it is. So that is how this Oba and Benin Kingdom came about. There was no such as Benin Kingdom. Benin is not a kingdom, it was imposed. It was imposed with force upon Idu Igodo Migodo. So, after then, they started doing what? I want to tell you how this Enogie came into being. Initially, there was no such as Enogie, no such as Duke. Please share these broadcasts. Share these broadcasts. You have not shared. I'm not seeing you sharing. Share these broadcasts. There was no such as Duke. I think today now they now have 100 and something Enogie in Edo South only that have eaten up most all the resources. The battle they are now into now is greedy battle. Their senior brother is trying to accumulate everything to himself. And they are fighting back. That is the battle they are fighting now. That is why they are now saying that they want to be independent. So that money that should be going to their brother direct will be coming to them also. Will not be going to their brother because their brother is not releasing the money to them. He is sitting on the money only. Forgetting that they are illegal in accordance to what Imasun Ezoduwa came to tell the public, because the cat has been let out of the bag. Initially, Imasun Ezoduwa covered this with all manner of cut and nail history, sugar-coated history, to hypnotize the Benin people he has been able to attract to his page, and some people who care to listen to him. That is why I am standing in a gap to reorient our essence sons and daughters that are listening to such cut and nail history. Initially, Imasun Ezoduwa cover all those things up. Anybody that even rise up to come and say those enogis that were created are illegal, they will go and police them. Just don't forget what they did to Joker Boy. They are so power intoxicated. They don't want anybody to challenge and question them. But the table is turning against them now. They are fighting greedy fights. Do not sympathize with those enogis. What we have to do is to continue to expose them. Because if breeze blow, foul nyash go open, you don't sympathize. You see that foul nyash where all those hair don't cover, see, you see them the way it be. So, these enogi that are created or that were created are not known to the culture. When they came, when Oba dynasty came, they now instituted their own power. For them to be emperor, they instituted a kind of emperoric style, where you will have only one king. They always say in Edo proverbs, I'm your beval Edo. And each time when the Esan people come to tell them that there are several kings, the Esans, Onojes, are kings, they will say, no, I'm your beval Edo. They will tell you, I'm your beval, because the kind of indoctrination that has been given to them by their fathers. Their fathers told them that him only is the king. Every other are duke. They tried that. That was why Ali fought just as what Obaseki is fighting today. But Ali did not press harder. But Ali only made sure that the duke, the Enuk and the Onoje, so to say, the Onoje in Esan are not tempered, just as they temper the Ogie in Edo. What we have there in Edo side before were Ogie, kings. And there was no such as only one king. Different jurisdictions you have in Edo South, they have their respective kings. There was no such as one king. But to make sure that there is kind of a heroic league where there will be only one king, they have to turn those kings to duke and created more dukes along with them. And those dukes started taking the title of Royal Highness. This is the illegality that has been bettered for thousands of years. 2,000 years now. This is the illegality that has triumphed for 2,000 years now. You can imagine how difficult it will be to begin to reorient these people with the truth that has wallowed in falsehood for 2,000 years. They are fighting back. Anyone who come to tell the truth, just like I'm telling the truth now, do you know how they fight back? with threatening, intimidation, oppression, so that the truth will never come to the public, will never come to the light. So they created a Nogies, Duke, Ogie, Ovie, Ogie, Onogie. The essence who came to team up with other tribes and languages, multi-ethnic group of people, to form Idu, were the one who came down with Efua, and they formed Idu. Esan introduced Odionwere sheep, because that is what we have in Esan land. Esan introduced Odionwere sheep how it should be. They introduced Odionwere sheep and kingship, Ojie. Initially, the language we all speak was Esan language. Not we all, so to say. The language, when I say we all, most of us that are supposed to be in that place that is called Benin today. I'm not talking about the Urobo, the Afema, and others. The people that now speak Edo today, the language they speak before, so to say, were Esan language. But the people who came from Yoruba land, they diluted the Esan with Yoruba language and Ikeju language of Ile-Ife. And they now have what they now call their Edo language. Now trying to endure all the languages that was on ground before they even came. If you want to know how Esans are the ancient people, this is why I always talk about archaeological evidence. You go to the northern part of Esan, you will see Iyala. Iyala Esan. What is Iyala? You will see what is known as moats. The moats in Edo South and the moats in Esan, if you go and do archaeological evidence, you will now begin to know from Ekpoma, from Uromi, the northern part of Esan. This will now let you know that Esan are the oldest dwellers. Esans are the oldest dwellers, not Edos. But we are not saying that we should be supreme over others. We never fought for that, and we don't even want to, and we cannot. We understand principle of live and let's live. We understand equality, not trying to rate one group of people above the other group of people. The language we speak, let nobody come to tell you that Esan language sounds like Edo language. It's Edo language that sounds like Esan language. The Edo language of today is kind of alienized language and alienized culture. So when you carry out archaeological search, it will reveal to you, just as it has been revealed already, that Esans are the ancient dwellers. The language we were speaking was not Ikedu language they are speaking today mixed with Yoruba language. It was pure Esan. But it's still we, the aboriginal, the native aboriginals, that head onto our language that has its various dialects. Onesana, Omayeze, Oto Esan. Àwọn fi ọ̀dọ̀ lọ náà zẹ ẹ̀rọ no jabi Yoruba. This is era of vast knowledge. Let nobody use open eye to cheat you. Iwoke-san. Knowledge is at our disposal to bring out so that evidence can be fetched, evidence can be reached, reality will be brought to light. Esans are the ancient dwellers. The Esans who came from Esan team up with multi-ethnic group of people, form Idu Igodo Migodo, where the Esans who later left come back to Esan land because Oba dynasty came, brought a whole lot of barbarism, human sacrifice, invading people's kingdoms, creating dukedoms in people's territory. Go and verify. These Enogies, most of them, majority of them are not indigenous of the community they are serving as royal highnesses. Is this not out of place? Is this not anti-nature? And now, I want to encourage Governor Norerase Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, to continue his mission in dismantling the power that has been accumulated to the Oba Palace. Because that is his mission. Why you are not, he has not gone to just orchestrate it. You know, these politicians, he himself has also turned himself to political warlord. He has also turned himself to what? To Godfather. And that is why he is patiently waiting for election. After election, he will now orchestrate his plan, which is beautiful. But if you yourself have not turned yourself to a dictator, you have not turned yourself to Godfather, this would have been done with immediate effect. You will have nothing to lose because you don't have anybody you want to impose. Say, you go there, go and become the governor. Because even you yourself, you know that you also want to cover your loophole. So you have to appoint somebody, push somebody, impose somebody, sponsor somebody. And when you sponsor that person, the person eventually becomes the governor. Your own loopholes will be covered. So that is why you see that Godfatherism will not be totally erased in the political wing of Nigeria, in the political wing of Edo State. But if not for this, I tell you that Obaseki has nothing he will lose and he has nothing he's waiting for. He would have recognized all these traditional rulers, all these Enogies, in accordance to what they wear, in accordance to who they are. But there is preparation for that. I want to encourage Governor Norerase Obaseki to continue that mission, not to back down, not to be intimidated, so that the ancient properties of our ancestors will not be arrogated by one class, by one group of people, Benin Royal Museum, like as if those artifacts belongs to Benin Royal House only. And they will come and tell you that Okpa Mahin, we are all one. But the artifact is coming, they are restricting it to Benin Royal Museum so that it will be the properties of the Benin only. And whatever benefit that comes along with it and that it will always generate, it will not concern other parts of the state. And these people, their ancestors, took part in the making of those artifacts. The artifacts, the making of those artifacts, the production of those artifacts did not begin only when Oba dynasty came. Did not begin only when Oba dynasty came. But now they are accumulating everything to themselves. And the money, the benefit that come along with it belongs to them. The money that the homage fund that the state government issue to Edo Sat belongs only to the Oba of Benin. And his brothers that he appointed as dukes to go and impose to other communities cannot bear it any longer. So that is why they now stood up to say they don't want to be under the control of Oba of Benin no longer. Meanwhile, the constitution that they created what will I call it? The traditional constitution that they created recognized those Enogies as their throne is hereditary title. So they are now saying that they themselves, they are hereditary, but the Oba of Benin is also hereditary. So time has come for everybody to pass. They don't have any serious problem. The problem they have is this money is formed that one person is sitting upon. And you see, Imason Ezodu, that small boy that is lying that Oba of Benin don't pay them. They pay him. When he started newly, I sent money to him to buy internet network. Where he was broadcasting was so dark, so tattered. And he was also looking, anytime he's broadcasting, that is how he will be licking orange and eating apple like one kind of a hungry animal. But as at that time, I was very, very much concerned about him because I saw a young man who came out to be narrating history. Being that we are all from Edo State, I was happy that one of our own is out to be narrating history. Not knowing that the history that he will later start to always narrate is to second the Esan. When I got to know that, the oneness that they have been propagating is where we Esans will be their second. That was why I disassociated from them. I was initially with them. I was even the forerunners. I was even the pioneer of Great Benin emancipation. Until I got to know the kind of oneness they met. And I said, oh, this is not the kind of oneness I'm talking about. Then I disassociated. Esa cannot remain in any alliance that seems to second them. Esa always moved out. That is why I moved out. Although I partake in it, I sent money to Imason Ezoduwa. I personally called him on phone to say, that place you are broadcasting from is too dark. It looks so tattered. And he said that is his office. He will go to his house. And when he started newly, nothing. Until he now started attracting the palace attention by propagating the falsehood of the palace. They put him on payroll. They started issuing contracts to him. Because you said you do survey land. But before you started narrating your court and Benin history, you were nothing. And now you are denying that they don't pay you. You are denying that apart from a history, nana, the matter, the social media, I am not poor, but I am rich. I am not rich. I am not too poor, but he said, I am not. What is his word again? I am not very rich, but I am not poor. Nobody is going into your financial background at all, but it is very, very obvious how you people begin to feed on people's ancestral land. You started getting more contracts. All the land, all those Enogies, all those royal fathers from the palace accumulated to themselves or sold to company or estate. They will call you to go and survey it. That is how you bought your new car. That is how you got your new apartment. On top of the fund, the payroll they put you. So, putting that by the wayside, you people think everybody are dummies. People keep you quiet. It's just for peace to reign. It's not that they are dummies. So when you start to behave like as if you have monopoly to manipulate, it irritates people of intelligence like me. It irritates us. When you think you have monopoly to manipulate, you think nobody is aware. People are not, they don't know what you are doing. You are foolish for thinking everybody are fools. People are not speaking simply because we want peace to reign. But you are eating deeper, and going to the extreme and accumulating a lot to yourself, while others are languishing in abject poverty. The 86 enogies that you are coming to say that the work they should do, they should suspend them. If they suspend them, that's document they sign to withdraw their loyalty to Oba of Benin will not be authentified no longer. And I laugh at you. You should know that before any suspension comes, those people already signed the documents. So for that document to be unsigned, suspension needs to be lifted. Because the people who signed the documents before the suspension, they are not suspended. So what they have signed remains so. You don't need to be a lawyer to know some basic things. What they have signed remains so. But this that is happening now in Oba Palace of Benin is likened unto what happened in the days of Oba Of Benin and his wife, Queen Eden. Queen Eden. Now, the way almost all these Enogie withdraw their services now, their loyalty now, as being subjects of Oba of Benin, that was how all those people that were in the palace of Oba Of Benin withdrew their services. Oba Of Benin had the throne to himself and the palace to himself, but he had no subjects. All his wife abandoned him because of his cruelty, because of his wickedness, that also cost the lives of other Edo people. And everybody abandoned Oba Of Benin. In accordance to Benin history, not Esan history. The palace was eventually 99.9 empty. It now remained Eden, who stood with her husband, Oba Of Benin. Nobody to maintain the palace, nobody to sweep the palace, no erranders to send to go and hunt human being, to go and kidnap human being for their human sacrifice. No longer. All services stopped. Nobody came to pay homage, bring food, farm produce. Oba Of Benin and his wife, Queen Eden, were in abject poverty and intensified hunger. They decided to go back, to go to Ikoka, the village of Of Benin. They got to Ikoka. He was not received. The people took him as commoner. They have regard for commoner more than him. They asked him to join the community boys to do maintenance of the road that leads to their farm and their stream, if he will even have food to eat. By so doing, he was angry in his cruelty again and placed a curse on Ikoka. The charm medicine he used in placing curse on Ikoka, his mother's village, he threw it away. Nobody was able to find it to return the curse of Oba. Don't forget that in Benin tradition and in Benin history, it is said that if Oba placed a curse, nobody can reverse it. No Oba can reverse it. It remains like that. And went back. So, his wife, Eden, I am still narrating the human sacrifice nature and custom of the Benin people to you in accordance to the Benin history. So his wife, Eden, on behalf of Ewakbe, went to go and consult a native doctor in Benin. And the native doctor, after his consultation, told Eden that the only solution to the problem is that they should sacrifice human being so that there will be peace in Benin and everybody will return home. And Eden took the message of the native doctor to his husband. And his husband looked around, nobody. And they said, there is no, who will go and fetch this human being? There is nobody again that is at the services of the Oba. Who will they use? Nobody. So, Eden is not hero. What she did it out of duress, out of no choice. If there were people, if people were on ground as at that time, Eden wouldn't have submitted herself. They would have go and hunt your ancestor, one of your ancestors, or one of the children of your ancestors, and used him or her for that sacrifice, like they always do. But being that everybody has left, have gone, just as unto almost all the Enoge of today, they've abandoned the Oba Palace. Go and check the Igwe festival they did this time. Most of them were not there. It was as empty as a church hall where there are no church members. So, if your ancestors were available, they would have used, Queen Eden wouldn't have submitted herself. So, being that there are no people, there is no warrior, there are nobody, no servants, no longer, that they will send to say, you, go and fetch one person. So Queen Eden said she will sacrifice herself. Today you see them overhyping Queen Eden, doing all manner of packaging for Queen Eden. Like as if she was a true hero. So the only way to bring peace to the land, the only option they always have is to sacrifice human being. No option. Is that not barbaric kingdom? Was it so? Can you point out any part of Idu Igodomigodo practices that sacrificed human for sacrifice before Oba dynasty came? No. No such. Ivie doni rewa atiki wa dami ho sesenese e matano ruwe mena e iwa tana ivie do e o renoro ve no je iri yatai I mafi o ewerie ve no waje kere binu warade e ijana na idena Anye yokpa ni mae uwe owe doni. Iwo ke san va dan we ho va kave ho no sen. Mani wo ke san ma yi miedo ma yi wo ki bini. Ai je san ai san wo ke san. Uru ni mazenya uru esan azere. Or you rue do Uru sa jabi uru do Wa kawe ho no sen Wa shene gbe la fia wa sheni wa kwa Iwo ke san O pe olo ma ki Imi ojere ma ki we are blue blood So, that was the only reason Eden have to give up herself to save their barbaric kingdom, the barbaric kingdom of her husband. When you hear Benin Empire, there was no such as Benin Empire. Oh, na lie. on a lie. The people they are referring to as their descendants, that is to boost their landmass and their population, enlarging their coasts, and started saying Benin Empire. Which empire? Oba Ewari conquered 201 towns and villages, people's towns and villages. You conquered them, dominated them, and you call yourself emperor, and from there you said Benin Empire. No such as empire. What were was nothing but hostility. The kingdom never existed in peace. There was internal crisis. There were always internal crisis and external crisis because people outside were not pleased. It was that their kingdom they tried to expand. They are referring to as empire. Most of these Benin people, they don't know any other history book. The only history book they are proud of, they know, is the one that they read to them. Their Benin history book that is littered with lies. And any other history they hear from outside, coming outside, they don't take it to. They don't take it. Yes, empire is different from kingdom. There was no such as Benin Empire. Never existed. The only kingdom, the Benin kingdom they tried to impose on people did not stand. It did not stand. It did not stand. The only period it survived, it was crisis upon crisis. Crisis upon crisis. The crisis still extends to this day. And it will continue if things are not appropriated. Let me tell you why Ali did not press too hard to dissolve all those nonsense they created. He didn't want people to look at it as tribal clash. If Obaseki was to be or is an Esama, the Benin people would have interpreted it as tribal clash. So the best people to do this job is the Benin or any other tribe. But time has come where the Esan will ignore whatever tribal Edwa Degbe no Degbe, where one for meet, may for meet. When we emerge as come as governor, we have to appropriate things. If they say it's tribal clash, let us get into the clash. You see, if Ishakiri and the Jaws don't clash, they say they want to pamper the inadequacy that always arose. There wouldn't have been peace, but after fight, peace go there. If Obaseki say that Obaseki na Esan person, you would have seen how these Benin people would have been making noise from left, right, and center, just as they did to Ali, for not allowing Oba of Benin to extend his superiority league to Esan, to turn Esan kings to duke. This also happened in Kanu. There was chaos until that kind of artificial constitution that accumulated so much power, that turned to power intoxication to only the one emir they were having in North. They have to make sure that everybody are adequately rated equally. More emirs were created. Tell you, say, I'm of Bevaledu. What concerns us concerns Oba dynasty. Go and look at it. The whole northern people today, they are dining together, irrespective of the Fulanization agenda. Monarchical wise, everybody respect themselves. Nobody is coming to play Lord over the other, because more emir were created on the long run. When it was only one emir, it was a whole lot of supremacy, dominance, decrees from left, right, and center. Barbaric decrees from left, right, and center. And that is Governor Obaseki's mission, to break down that accumulated power artificially, so that it will be the way it was. The Iyase of Udo, abi the Ogido, or the yes, those people, they are kings. They are not chiefs. They are not dukes. When you now go to Ronigbe, Iokorion, they are the ones who govern themselves. That is why you see today that the Iokorion do their own things. They don't challenge. They don't respond any longer. They are just playing neutral. They are just playing neutral. The Olia is the one, his responsibility is to crown king, to crown Enogie. The Enogie from Iokorion want to crown their king. But they belittle the whole of them. For what? For supremacy dominance, for supremacy league. Let me put my phone number, to the case you want to call, to ask questions, to against me, not to insult me. You can challenge this message I'm putting up, to counter the message. If what I am saying is not correct, you bring counter proof. Let me put my number. But if you are not calling in, and you are going back to go and grumble and go and try to call my number later when I'm done from here, you are not a good person. Whatever you have to contribute now, call in to contribute. Don't call in to come and threaten me later. Just a moment. Okay. One. All right. Excuse me, I have to check if that number I typed is correct. I don't have it completely off heart. I'm not quite sure, but let me check. No. All right, it's correct. Should in case you want to call in, you can call in, please. Yes. Let me now take some comments. Can't even see them clearly. Okay. So what do you think, people? Can we continue like this simply because we have some persons who think they have monopoly to threaten people, who think they are the only one who can come up with open eyes? No, now. No. But you see, if you see say peace come day later, everywhere come cool, have it within your mind. So maybe they don't see go do human sacrifice because they don't have any other option. Remember exactly what happened during Oba White Man. It's the same thing that is happening now. So the only way they could resolve it is human sacrifice. And Eden was the one who sacrificed herself to the Benin Kingdom. And in continuation of that human sacrifice, she said that they should make sure that they keep her grave clean and nobody should step foot, knowing or unknowingly, on her grave. If anybody step foot, knowing or unknowingly, on her grave, that person should be killed and sacrificed to her. And the time even came when somebody mistakenly put his leg on cow waist, cow shit, and the person unknowingly cleaned his leg on that Eden grave. They killed the person and sacrificed him for Eden. Now Benin people, now their historical narrative, and they tell you so. So, human sacrifice is still very, very much available. That is why today you see say people picking don't miss. Whether na pastor na go tifamo, whether na Benin people na go tifam, you don't know. You don't know. So this chaos that you have in Oba Palace today, now tomorrow you come here saying they say they don't resolve everything, but you don't know what they do. So the Benin people, do they want to tell us, the people that are now called Benin people, do they want to tell us that they are blue blood? Imagine that is there tearing his man that is blue blood. You that your ancestors came from Yoruba land, you are saying you are blue blood. How are you blue blood? You immigrants. You people have come to take over the royal house. Let me read this again to you. And today, ask them who is Bamawo. You have Bamawo family. You have the Chief Bamawo. Well known all over. Who are they also? These are Yoruba people. When Yoruba people are telling you that Benin people are their children, they are not quoting lies. They are not quoting lies. Disregard any history that is not saying that it was the son of Owodo that went to Ife and became Oduduwa, whose name is Ikaladeran. Disregard that history. There is no Ikaladeran that went to Ife and turned to Oduduwa. Ikaladeran died at Owoton and was buried there in accordance to Benin history. Any other one you are not seeing today, reading today, they are trying to cover up the truths they unknowingly wrote down earlier before. The truth they unknowingly jotted down earlier before. They are not trying to cover it. Like I told you before, that this my broadcast, even though I tried to go and destroy it by deleting it, some people already shared it and some downloaded it already. So it cannot be totally in race, it will only not be largely circulated no longer because I have deleted it from its source. But the ones that the people already kept can still be brought on board as evidence. Those previous history, the Benin people don't circulate them again. They've removed it from the library. But we were able to lay hold on some, and they are still with us. They are the one who recorded that Ikaladeran died at Oroton. So how many Ikaladeran Owodo gave birth to? Gave birth to 2 sons and called the 2 Ikaladeran. So this is the pure truth. Without fear of favor, let the truth roll out. I am begging you, if you have not shared this broadcast, share it so that it will get to whom it may concern. Most especially, it will get to Imasuen Izodua. So that it will get to him for sure. And secondly, the history I narrated before, which I provided the book I read from now. I'll read it again. You have to go and share it together with this very broadcast. I made that article today. Okay, thank you for sharing. I made that article today. Share that one and also share this one along with it. Make sure you share it so that it will go to Imasue himself. If you only share it on your wall, he might not see it. Share the link to his page so that he will come and listen. For him to argue again. You know, the more he argue, wants to come and counter, the more he messes himself up. So we need to be putting this to him so that he will continue to mess himself up, so that truth will continue to come out. You know, each time he messes himself up by shooting himself on the foot, like he is doing these days, more truth will come out. So truth is now out again that those Enogis most of them are cultists. The truth is out by Imasuen Izodua. Though the truth has been there, they try to threaten anybody that bring the truth on board. By Imasuen Izodua let us know that those Enogis, they are not original. That the people that really own the community are Odionweres. So he was trying to polish his stupidity up by saying that Enogie is what was Enogie created for. Why was that Enogie ship created? It was for Enogie to be ambassador of Oba. So there, what is the Odionwere doing there? So for Enogie, so the Odionwere is now silent. Odionwere can no longer watch over his kingdom, his territory, his community no longer. You now brought higher power. You are trying to say you first narrated this, that Odionwere have power. But what we see, do you see any Odionwere driving jeep and his plate number is private number that is having his royal highness? Did any Odionwere refer to himself as his royal highness? Have you seen any Odionwere that is as rich as all these Enogis? All these Enogis. Do you know what Oba of Benin also did to this Maosazuwa Enogie Enya? The Coca-Cola company that was under his jurisdiction, Oba of Benin sweep it from his hand. You see, huh? So tell me how the people will not say they want to be under their own when they themselves have now accumulated so much wealth to themselves with the land of the people. I am not saying that there are some Enogie that are indigenous to their community, but it was not as unto Enogieship. It was not as unto dukedomism, if there is any English like that too. It was not like that. Odionwere was the highest. We, Essence, We are the ones to tell these people this because we brought all this institution to them from Esan land. Before Enogie were created, there were Onoje. And in the kingdoms of Onoje, there are Edionwe rays. Enogie were created during Oba dynasty. But Onoje has been with the Esans. The language we were speaking remain Esan. Esan language do not sound like Edo language. It's Edo language that sounds like Esan language. So let me now read the names of these immigrants. I pity some of the few Esans that are turning themselves, knowing or unknowingly, to puppets of Benin people. But we will not be worried about you people because we know that on the long run, you people will definitely march along with us that are awoken already. Remain there, but you will definitely march along. Just as the essence that later left to go home and go and settle with their essence that were already on ground before Idu was formed. So you will also, your eye will clear. Because you don't understand what unity really means. If you understand, you will not be in a unitary system where you are seconded, where constitution has been created to oppress and suppress you, where your kings has been seconded to a particular king, Ojere, Goje, Ohesan, where the traditional council of Edo State that was instituted and the chairmanship of that traditional council used to be rotational. As kingship used to be rotational in Idu, but the Oba of Benin trapped it and made himself permanent chairman of that institution. And that is what it is today. So that your power will be limited. He will always make decree and tell people, will say, I'm wine and no batai. This is what brought chaos in northern part of Nigeria. As at that time, it was only one emir that they had. But only in Kano State, they have more than 2 emir now. They have to resolve all those. Because when you let power to only one person, as far as human nature is, if it is mixed with greed, it will turn into power intoxication. That is what is happening in Edo South. Let me tell you, if Esan land is governed the way Edo land is governed, which is Edo South, one Esan king would have been richer than Oba of Benin. But it's because the homage that comes, the form that comes, the homage that comes from the state government are all shared little by little to each king's autonomous kings in Esan. That is why you see that our kings are not extravagantly rich like Oba of Benin, because it was not allowed, it is not allowed for one king to dominate others. Do not take too much, my people. Take little, so that others will have to take. But in Edo South, Oba of Benin is extravagantly rich because the homage that is supposed to be shared to other kings that should allow to reign as king as they were in Edo South are all turned to Oba subject as duke. So, constitutionally, dukes are not recognized. Dukes are not funded by the state government. Dukes are funded by Oba of Benin. In other words, it is the food that falls, the crumbs that falls down from the master's table that the dog will pick off and eat and feed on. If nothing goes out from Oba's hand, those traditional rulers, those so-called traditional rulers have nothing to live on. But they have so much to live on as it has not turned to be because they have taken hostage of people's land in people's community where they are not indigent to. They bought jeep and have private number and call themselves royal highnesses. Imasue Izodua, you think you are intelligent, you want to come and talk to us with your nose or polished English? Where they are Zera. Where Zera, Onohana, where Revan share, that you'll be chewing his mouth like cow. Yes, what we should do now? Yes, people has been calling me. Who are you? Which day they born you? Are you up to 32 years? If you are too much, you are 32 years of age. You are not in my classification no longer because I am not a man of 30 years old. You come and be fully and hypnotizing people, both old and young, with your half-baked knowledge, narrated barbaric Benin history. That people has been calling you. If not that, you are not making money simply because the Palace of Benin have put you on a payroll. And on top of that, they are not assigning contracts to you because you are helping them to propagate falsehood. This was how Ronald Ekoe became very rich. That he went out of control. Even the Oba of Benin, he was almost more powerful than the Oba of Benin. This was how. As at that time, who dare say no to what Ronald Ekoe is saying? But you people were there now, overhyping him. Title was given to him until the thing bursts. You know, when they come burst, they will do like say they suspend them. And he's left inside. He was the one that was picked. That is exactly where Imasue Izodua, he has been trying to attract the palace so that they will know that somebody like him is there, and of which he really did attracted the palace of Oba of Benin. Before now, like I told you before, like 3 years upward, 3 years ago, Imasue Izodua, I was the one who sent money to him. Go and ask him. I tell him, if the money not reach, you are Jonah. Now this one I get. Go and buy internet network so that you can be broadcasting from your house. But I never knew that these people, they are manipulators. They are hypnotists who try to making sure that they reign over others as senior with twisted history. That was how I disassociated myself. And Imasue Izodua is coming to cajole people that what the Oba should do now, ASAP, they should suspend them. That they are really before they are not legal, they are not original. So now you know say they not be original. Who created them? When all those titles you people said that Ronald Ekoe was giving out, when people were complaining that these are illegal, you people say that they are undermining the power of the Oba Palace of Benin. They are insulting the Oba Palace of Benin. Anybody who talk, you say they are insulting the Oba Palace of Benin. But when the thing don't they expose to the public, you guys frame him up and say that it was him and him that was doing all he did only. The Momo people was war. So as that palace your big grease, so secretary did here. Everything that he did, he was just doing it on his own as in ordinary servants. All those enogies, they there. Iyase of Benin, when you can't tell us, say the meaning of Iyase of Benin mean Niyase Owa. You think say we don't forget the history. Many history. The time when you knew starts, Imasuen, you said that you are advising your Benin people to go and apologize for the barbarism they committed to some kingdoms. You said it in your broadcast, and I still have it too. That attracted me to you. I thought you were a good person. Until I saw that you people, your quest is to dominate the Esan people and Beninize them. Because that agenda started 2,000 years ago. That is where some of our Esans are still soaked into. You will see an Esan old man or an old man. You will come to tell Igbe Udage, you come to say, at the cost division, what do I know? Because falsehood has allowed to be into existence for thousands of years. So they do not know no longer. Some of them are watching me now as I'm speaking. They are listening to me for sure. And those ones that are not listening to me now, they will come across this broadcast. Truth should be blunt. Truth should not be pampered. Truth should not be sugar-coated. Truth should not be short-narrated. Truth should not be economical. Don't be economical with the truth. Imaso Ezoduwa, you've forgotten all that. And now you are doing like as if you are too much. Because you feel that you have the palace behind you. You are coming to tell us that you are blue blood. Now, essence. When I say essence, the respective Esan kingdoms that are there in Esan, do not underestimate them. Do not underestimate them. My brother, Sosa, Ba, yes, you are right, but I cannot cry the cry of other people. What has been done to the Esan people is too much. I am here, I am an Esan man, and I represent Esan. Any other group who knows that what I'm saying now is truth, that person should emerge. Whether you be Isoko, whether you be Robo, please emerge. I cannot champion yours and mine together. But I can only make reference to yours, but I will not take yours to champion. Let everybody emerge because the neutrality is getting too much. Play neutral. That is why this propaganda have sell for this long. They propagate it, it cut across for this long. So, as concerning Esan, is what I am telling you, this is indigenous people of Esan. Esans are second to none. For any reason, do not bring up any Idu to say you want to second us to that your Idu. We are not part and parcel of such Idu. Do not bring up any Bini to say you want to second us to such Bini. We are not part and parcel. Nobody is second to any. That is the kind of alliance that we should propagate. If we need alliance, otherwise let everybody exist on their own so that peace, respect, and equity will sustain. We have our identity. Idu did not make us, we made Idu. Together with other tribes and languages. Before Idu, Igodo was created, Esans were already existing. And after the creation of Idu, Igodo, the Esans who took part in the formation of Igodo, they decided to disassociate themselves and they went back home. Note, it was not all Esans that took part in the formation of Idu Igodo. Some Esans were at home, while the other batch of Esans, they went. join multi-ethnic group of people, formed Idu-Igodo Migodo. We brought Odionwereship. We brought Onojeship. And that is why you see that Oba of Benin replicated the pronunciation. And when we brought all those Onojeship, it was called Ojiso. If you want me to play the ancient record of the Esan to you, I will do so. A moment, please. Wisdom and knowledge is not by gray hair. Knowledge is not by how many years you spend on the earth, but by reason of the years you spend on earth. If you gave yourself to knowledge, you will have knowledge. But if you did not, don't come and say people should listen to you simply because you are old. You might be old and saying things that are false, that are not correct, or that you don't know. Just hope I will be able to get it, man. Okay. I wanted to play this music to you because I believe in backing my submission up with evidence. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me rush to what I'm looking for. I want you to be adequately informed. As in, I give people full dose of knowledge, not have big knowledge. Let me play for you one more time. But when you go to look beneath history, my brother, you will not know the truth. If you fail to progress in searching for truth, do not just stop somewhere simply because something was brought to you as truth. They arranged all the Benin people and called them Ojiso. There are other people that reign as Ojiso. Disregard all those Benin history, I'm telling you. And they are not telling you that they are the Ojiso that gave birth to others. When you go and study the history of Ojiso Wodo and his children, large numbers of his children are Esan, his wife, the story of Oaha. The people who came from Esan, together with Efua, are the ones that actually started this Ojiso. And the Benin language, the Edo language, they put G and call it Ogiso. Because of the Benin domination, supremacy, most of our Esans today are also using G in some of their places where they have to use J. It was quite unfortunate that these were not appropriately documented. The falsehood that was documented sold. If the Benin people are telling you that Ikaladera, the son of Ojiso, was the one who went to Oduduwa and died, and when you know that is completely fallacy, because they also recorded earlier enough that Ikaladera died at Ugoton. So why should you believe any of their history that they are writing, when only that alone shows how untruthful they are in the aspect of historical records? So these Esau who came, they went back. They were not given birth to by Benin group. They were not given birth to by Benin group. As an elderly man, you should be able to make use of your gray hair that is supposed to stand for wisdom. Wisdom do what? Wisdom rationalize issues, assess issues before professing it, pronouncing it. If you are an elderly man with gray hair, you just took something because it has been largely circulated, the crowd has followed it. We, the children, are disappointed in you. Because you, as an elderly man, is not supposed to be a crowd follower. You are supposed to be an elderly man that sat down somewhere outside the crowd, envisaging what children will climb ladder and Iroko tree, they will not be able to envisage it. But you did not do so. You did not take a break, disassociate yourself from the crowd. You followed the crowd. So, the children are saying they are disappointed in you. Sir. So, Esa people, let no group of people use us as exit door, as collateral damage. This is not time for we as some people to be looking for association. Mike Mono said, we are big enough. We are big enough to stand on our own, just as you are big enough to stand on your own. We don't want to be part and parcel of any alliance where people are not rated equally. Don't come and propagate you are custodian of Idu over us. Because that is as unto the Oba Palace of Benin, who is the paramount ruler of Edo State. That is the same thing. Don't come and propagate that you are the custodian of Idu. You only cannot be the custodian of Idu. We are all custodians of Idu, and it should be rotational. If there is going to be any unitary concept at all, otherwise, Moshe Gario, in short, we know every day part and parcel of the Gari self. It's just hostility that has been happening. I am a man, and I speak the truth with all my mouth open. I don't speak half truths. We have an identity before Idu. Idu is subgroup. Everybody came with their identity. Whether you are saying you are the direct son of Idu, now Idu now gave birth to you, we have not been able to really go into that. But when we go into that, archaeological evidence should be forwarded. And if it is forwarded, and really and truthfully, say now you serve now Idu picking, then let everybody live in equity, peace, justice, and equality. That is why you see today that the Essans are not proud. We are contented with what we have. We do not allow one person to accumulate what should be divided to others, to himself only. So when you see that you come to Ondoje Palace, is not glittery, decorated, like that of Oba of Benin, don't disregard that throne. Alimino Riveni is differ from Eyimidu. Only one group of people can call on Eyimidu. The Esan also can call on Eyimidu, but you cannot call on any Esan. That is the truth. We have our 100% reserved. Alimi Esan, you cannot call on it because you are not Esan. But Esan can call on Eyimidu to arise for you or against you. Just as you can also call on Eyimidu, but the truth remains that you cannot call on Alimi Esan. Oni Aresegbe. And that one now we pass each other out. But we kept it to ourselves. We are living our own jejeje. So nobody is saying alliance is not beautiful. Alliance is very good. For people to live together, coexisting. There is nothing as good as it. But if a particular group of people are not trying to profess themselves as superior, and there wahala deo, if you do where amagai say energy. Iwe hesan wana ga no se eki oni o enwoja. Awi awo agbaloko tono sen na don mie ado akon gbegbe na don mie atobo mo senegbe wan kwa iri o santa iwo ke san ki jole agbaloko to. We are good enough. Yes, I am not lying about that, my brother. You can go that if I deleted it, you wouldn't have seen it. You wouldn't have seen it to go and say you want to watch. But I left it for reference purpose. That all I met before was equality. But the time I came to realize that is not what the Benin meant, I have to disassociate myself. So do not go and be using that to come and choke me here, because I left it for you to go and watch what I really meant. My broadcast was not to insult Oba of Benin or insult. I was always there to stand for the integrity, what they profess as integrity of Oba Palace. And I never narrated in my history that Essans are children of the Benin people. But when I now saw that is what the Benin people mean to say we are children, and I keep telling them in our group that this is what the history is, I saw their anger. I saw their attack. And I said, no. Most of the people that went and they go and form all the way from London, they went and form United Kingdom of Great Benin. They called me to take part. I never took part. Because as at that time, I was still battling with the Benin people concerning this history they are propagating. I am from Edo State, and naturally, I should be able to applaud every royal fathers in Edo State. But that does not mean that the Esan race is second to you simply because I was applauding. The major reason I came out as at that time with Great Benin Emancipation, Harry Siken, was that the Biafra people, I keep saying that I don't want any kind of friendship simply because I want you to accept what I am saying. The truth is what I will tell you. They were everywhere. They started changing the history of Esan, calling Ubiaja, Ubiaha, saying all those places are Igbo land. Started changing the name, started indoctrinating our people wrongly, just as the Benin people are doing. You are fighting for freedom does not mean that you should be changing people's history. I saw that Nnamdi Kanu started changing the history, saying that the whole of Edo State is Biafra. And I saw that some of our people were already professing us as Biafra. And I know that we are not Biafrans. And I am not saying that you as a Biafra, you are not Biafra if you are Igbo. But we Esans, we got nothing to do with Biafra. Knowing fully well that in Edo State, the people that some of the Esan people are looking onto as senior, that people who profess themselves as senior, they were championing Biafra, aka wounded civilian, and some others. I came out, I said, whoa, if I allow this, our Esan people will mimic the Edo people, and started professing Biafra. Just as you can still have some today simply because they are married to Igbo woman, Igbo man, or Igbo persons, so to say. I said no. That was how I came out. Trying to let us know that this is our identity. Idu, Igodo, Migodo. That is not turned to Benin. There is no, we will never Biafran. But I saw that the Benin people took that as leverage to say that Esans are second to Benin. When I saw that they started writing Benin descendants and arranging people in the way they feel, they are first. And if you look at it, population-wise, Esans are more than the Edo in population. So, on what basis are you seconding the Esan? On what basis are you seconding the Esan? I have to disassociate myself. So, I am not a stupid person. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come out the way I'm coming out now. Our Esan people who were in Idu, Igodo, Migodo, that later turned to Benin, did they not move out from that Benin? Would they say, because they move out, now anything, they should not speak again because they move out? So because I moved out from that which you are talking about now, I should allow propaganda to continue to trend? My brother, think. Think. The same Nnamdi Kanu who was abusing all the Yoruba people and all the Yoruba pastors, did he not go and align with them when he later knew that he needs allies? Think. I cannot continue. I cannot push because I never pushed it. That what the Great Benin Emancipation I came out for that time was actually the Benin of then, not the Benin of now. When people are talking, I always try to break it down to you so that you will understand. When you hear people talking about Benin, we are not talking about a group of people that are called Benin now. That is what most of you don't understand. There is no group of people called Benin as a particular group of people. In all actuality, Benin is not a language. Benin is not a race. Benin is a name of a geographical location. It's not a tribe. This group of people today only monopolize it to themselves. When they hear anybody saying Benin, they feel that they are the one there. But we're trying to resound The Benin that we talked about. Is Benin a tribe? If you are a Benin man, call in to answer. I thought I put down my WhatsApp number. I like interrogation, but they won't call. Let me put down the WhatsApp number again. Call in. People want to learn. I am saying Benin is not a tribe. Call in. To debate me on that. Yes, my WhatsApp number is pinned down. Benin is not a tribe. Benin is not a language. Benin is a geographical location that comprises of multi-ethnic group of people. And by reason of the multi-ethnic group of people in Benin is what we refer to as great. But the people who now call themselves Benin, who monopolize Benin to themselves, there is nothing great about them. When we talk about the great Benin, we are talking about the Ijos, the Isokos, the Essence, the Owans, the Urobo, so on and so forth, the Ikas. But the original name was not Benin. It was Idu, Igodo, Migodo. Oromio came and called it Ile Binu. And that Ile Binu became a nickname to Idu, Igodo, Migodo. And when the Portuguese came, the Portuguese, for easy pronunciation, called Ile Binu Benin. Was it the group of people that are now professing themselves today that the Portuguese refer to as Benin only, or the geographical territorial area? Were there any language that is recorded down and say this is a Benin language? Do they speak Benin, and Benin that they speak started during the era when Oba dynasty, Oba Eware the first, because that was when Edo language came on board. Because it was the guy that his name is Edo, a servant, a slave of Ogefanomo, that was killed on behalf of Oba Eware. Oba Eware, to compensate him, took his name, the name of a servant, of a slave, and gave it to his group of people to always remember that's Edo that was killed on his behalf, because Edo was the one who gave him information that his brother Owaifyokun is coming to come and kill him for the throne that he was to occupy. And because of that information Edo gave him, Edo the servant, the slave, he went hiding. And when Owaifyokun came, Owaifyokun could not find him. When that man, his name was Ogun, when he became Oba Eware the first, eventually, he compensated that guy that was killed and took his name, Edo. That was when Edo began. The name Edo began. So there is no such as Benin language or even Edo. And we are not Edos. But those people that gave themselves that identity, they are good to go with it. They are good to go with it. I blocked some of them before, my brother. Thank you. You said I should leave. You should leave here and let one call in call. I blocked most of this. It was this morning I started opening them. I did not open all of them. There are more than 3,000. If I open all of them, you will see this page will grow to 7,000 or 10,000 followers. When I opened indigenous people of Islam, they came in their numbers like bees to come and dominate this place. Yes, we don't have another to say. What we have to say in this page, if you have another to say, go and open your page and be saying it there. But here in indigenous people of Esan is mainly open to continue to tackle the issues of Benin upon Esan. That is it. We don't have any. If you are expecting any other, you will not see. All the history of Esan that we are going to be posting here is history to always debunk the Benin distorted, the Esan distorted history by the Benins. There is no other thing we do here. If you have something else different from what you think we are doing here that you don't like, go and open your page. You are connecting with this your Facebook page. Go and use it to be propagating it. Let people hear. Let people come there to come and support what you are saying. So do not come here to want to come and suggest or impose what you want to say. If you think you are hearing too much, exit yourself from this platform. Unfollow. Did I come to your house to come and drag you? Say we are hearing too much about Benin and Esan issue reportedly. Don't we have other history about Esan without mentioning Benin? Look at you. You should be ashamed of yourself. How can you be talking about your stolen property and the name of the people who stole your property will not be mentioned? How can you? Let me block this Ken again. I want him to come. Okay, you are saying if we don't have other history to mention without Benin. No, there is no other. There is no other. Let me go read to you. Why I open most of those people, this Benin human sacrifice that is still trendy secretly, which I posted in history, is what I wanted them to come and see. To come and counter it if it was false. And this guy is saying what the Benin people did to me that is so painful. Ask them what Benin people did to me that is so painful. I was the chairman. I was the one who opened the association, not them. So what did they do to me that is so painful? What they did to me that is so painful is trying to second the essence. And it should be painful. It's trying to second the essence with their distorted history. Every factual history about the Esan people, they have distorted it. Down to the history of Oba of Zolua and Onoji Agba. This man is opening his mouth to say, don't we have any other Esan history? Onoji Agba and Oba of Zolua, is that not Esan history that the Benin people distorted? What have you done as an Esan person or non-Esan person to appropriate that falsehood of the Benin people? I am asking you. You should be ashamed of yourself. What have you done to appropriate the history of the Benin that lied that Ikaladeran turned to Oduduwa? Meanwhile, Ikaladeran died at Ogoton. What have you done? Talking nonsense from your mouth, and you are proud of it. You should do what? You unfollow. That is what to do. If you feel that we are talking, because there is no other thing to talk. What we only have to talk, the major reason why this association was created legally, NGO, was created, is to always bring these on board, and there is no other. So when we are championing Esan history, we are championing Esan history that has been distorted, and we are doing justice to correcting it and making reference to how it was distorted. And if it irritates you, immediately you come across notification that Agbe Ewodare Okosun is on air. Why are you watching? Because you are pained that people are getting to hear the truth again and again, and you don't want them to hear the truth. You are pained. And this is what the great Esan people, in indigenous people of Esan Association, will continue to propagate, so that as they pain you, it go dey sweet us, and as they sweet us, it go dey pain you. Now, I read this out before for the benefit of those people that joined before I read this historical record of the Benin people. I will continue again. It's not only this. The history of Ewakbe talks about human sacrifice. But this one now, I want to read it so that you will know the badge of people that are now called Benin people. And this person, I don't know who he is. And this person is coming to say, if we don't have any other history to narrate, when there are people who are not native in the land that has hold on the royal house and professing themselves as royalties. Professing themselves as royalties. Somebody is requesting to join the live program. Let me accept. Okay. Let me read it to you. Oral history has it. Oral history, Benin oral history has it that Osa and Osua, with who? With a Lawure of Usen, a Logie of Utese, Ogiutese, Ozima of Okenuhe, Olobia and Olodwani. These people, they are Yorubas, but today they are all now Beninese. These people originally came with Oromia together with Bami Wo, that are not Chief Bama Wo. They originally came with Oromia from where? From Ile-Ife to where? To Benin in 13th century. Now there were two cannibals amidst them that came together with this group of Yoruba people. The two of them left with Oromia, who did not stay, but were later sent back by him to be advisors and aiders of his son, Owomika, who became Oba Eweka the first in about 12 AD. Now, these people that followed Oromia to Benin, Oromia did not stay because of he could not rule over the people. Oromia decided to go back. And those people that followed Oromia to Benin, they stayed in the harem of the palace. But Oromia had a son in Benin before he left. His son name is known as Owomika, and he left together with the two people I mentioned their names, the two cannibals, Osa and Osua. Later on, when Oromia heard that his son Owomika has become the first Oba, and Oba dynasty has started in Idu-Igodo, where Oba dynasty started and was called Benin. Oromia sent Osua to go and meet. He sent Osa to go and meet Owomika, Oba Eweka, to be helper and to be aider
to him, to give him guidelines how Oba dynasty is instituted. I read on. Oswan arrived Benin 3 months earlier than Osa. He came through Ogoton and arrived Benin City through Ogbanuhohan. Behind Ogbanuhohan, behind Benin Airport, the place now called Benin Airport. He was finally taken, when he came, he was finally taken to Oba Palace. In the palace, and he was well received by the Oba after telling the Oba his mission. His mission was to come and give Owomika guidelines on how Oba dynasty should go. The Oba then settled him at Urokbota, where the Benin City Council, formerly known as Benin Divisional Council Secretariat, where that secretariat is, so that is where Osa was settled. That is where Osan was settled, so to say. Oswan and Osa. But that is where Oswan was settled. I'm still reading on. His brother Osa later joined him and was settled at Igunoemo. The two of them were made priests of two deities. Osa to be in charge of Ora, while Oswan was to be in charge of Owen. These two deities were always served with human beings. Occasionally, when humans were offered as sacrifice to these gods, this period were always when there was too much sun. And then when there was too much sunshine, thunder and lightning, as well as the prevention of war and epidemic, and for the general health and well-being of the kingdom. The two of them were said to be seizing people from the streets and eating them. Children were being restricted from playing in the streets of Benin, so that the two brothers might not kill them for food. It caused great concern in Benin. It caused great concern in Benin that elders had a meeting at Iyase's prime minister's house. All the chiefs then moved to the palace right from the Iyase's house, the venue of the meeting, to Oba. They are decided about the two cannibals, brothers, to stop them from eating human beings. So, what they now did, they were not by themselves serving the deities with humans. You know why they moved that motion? So that Oswan will not go and also eat up their own children. So they should be in position of knowing the people to serve to the gods. That was what it was. So, what do you have to say about that? Okay, somebody say he don't think. Okay, it's not about what you think. You are free to think whatever you want to think, but your thinking might be erroneous. So let me read. I don't think if you have other history to say, because you told us a lot of history before now, change all history. Most Asian people are not in support of your new history. Just the fool yourself. Now, when you say most Asian people, can you speak for most Asian people? You are just a single person. Indigenous people of Asian Association, I'm not only the one there. Everybody in Indigenous people of Asian Association are Esans. So don't be stupid. Indigenous People of Esan Association is going to be launched in Esan January, registered and accepted, where you will see Esans, prominent people, Esan sons and daughters. Don't be a fool that you already are. So when you say most Esan people, you are just singular, a single person. Can you speak for plural? Most, you can't speak. You are only thinking out of your erroneous thinking. You think me coming up to speak here, I am only alone, not knowing that I am not alone. If you have any history where I told you before that Esans are children of Oba of Benin, I dare you to forward it. When you are talking about the history I once told you before, I dare you to forward it. Please forward it. You can also paste the link here so that people will go through and go and watch. I have not deleted the page I was using before. It's up to 18,000 followers. It's still there. So can't you see that you call yourself freedom man, but you are not free mentally? You are not mentally free. You are mentally slave, chained, and domesticated. Your brain is frozen. Because people like una need better abuse so that now they get brain. They not cause una only get sense. So that is the message for today. In a nutshell, they will not call now. They will call. They did here because I want them to call in. They are here listening. They cannot call. The number is there. They cannot call. Okay, send request to join the broadcast. I will accept you. You cannot come. So come and counter what I am saying, because you know that you have run out of propaganda. Because whatever you want to say out to the public will be mocked, because it is not proven. It cannot be proven. I want you to come and debate what I am saying now, that Benin Kingdom is not a kingdom that practices human sacrifice. Come and debate it, because what I am saying now, I am not the one who wrote it. That is why I am ready for you to call me to any court so that I can come. And when I am coming, I will pack all the evidences alongside with me, so that I can say, yes, my Lord, this is the book where I am reading from, and the book is generally accepted. This is the name of the book. I was not quoting my words. I was only buttressing and emphasizing on the truth that I am only narrating now. So, where have I gone against the law? Do I even need a lawyer to stand for that kind of case? Not be me write the history now. Not be write not be me write the history. So you cannot say that I made it up. If you say I am okay, the only thing you can charge me for, I think you should charge me for deformation of character, and I will respond. I think you can charge me for deformation of character. That is the language. You don't go school now. You don't know anything about that one. So when you charge me for that, then I will now come up to say, if I am the one that is deforming your character, this book that is generally accepted, that means you are the one that has deformed your character by yourself. I am only reading from the book because you put the book in the public. Whatever you put in the public, you are asking for public opinion. And my opinion is to rebuttress and to re-emphasize on the book you wrote. I am not the one who wrote the book. I am not the one who forwarded it. I am not the one who edited the book. And it is not only one book. Different pages of the book, different book I will pack them along my side and come to court. And the other one that was also written that a Kaladera died at Ogoton, I will bring it along. Because you know, say this don't go enter court now. When I publish my evidence, the thing will come go viral the more. But I don't want to sue me. They come here, come they talk nonsense. Who kill him? And once they where or where I want. So now so. So my people, where I for do bad. If I do bad, you wait a year so write them out. You've been here saying that I don't have any history. You've been hearing about Benin and Esan history, Benin and Esan, if we don't have any other thing to say, and you are still here. It's because you know that what I am saying is true, but you cannot just resist it. You just have to stay and hear. But because of your shallow mind, you don't want to agree. So you're saying how long have you been hearing? Do you know how long the Benin people have propagated their history? Did they stop propagating that kind of erroneous history? So me that just came up yesterday, never even reached 8 months or 1 year, I just start. So you are not saying that what have you been hearing? I never even do and reach 20 years so that my children will continue from there. So that my people will continue from there. So if you are not a fool, that person don't have my time, most people watching me now are Beninese. The people that are commenting now, are they Beninese? Check your comment and check the other people comments. If the people that are watching me now are Beninese, they are the Benin people that are Beninized. In all actuality, they are not Beninese. They are the original indigenous people that you people, Yoruba people, came to Beninize and gave them Benin identity. So that is why you see them watching me now, and they are the most people, but you are the number one stupid and dummified person that is watching amidst the sensible people that are watching. So you don't know that everybody in that place that are called Benin, they are not Benin. Who kineji you original mumu, actual kineji. Now you people. The Benin people you are referring to as Benin people, you think they are happy that they cannot breathe, that they be given wrong identity. Can you tell me the meaning of Benin? Can you tell me the meaning of Edo? So the two names there have no meaning. You are being alienized. Who kineji? You are being alienized. There were people on ground already in that place that you are called Benin. Before that people came, the people I just named, they are called their name for you now. They brought in Iketu language and tapped into Esan language and formed a language and I gave it a Edo language during the era of Oba Eware I. Uki, Uki, or Uki. That is how Edo language started. Olori Buruku. Omo Ale. Omo Ale. Idiot, you are idiot. Who you are using Yoruba and Lagos. So before they told you that everybody living in Lagos are Yoruba or Zuo. So before they told you that everybody living in Lagos are Yoruba. So everybody living in the royal house is what we are talking about. We are not talking about the whole Lagos. Lagos, we have tribes. Those tribes are not claiming to be Yorubas. Those are the people that came as far as Nigeria is concerned. You can reside anywhere and live there. You are not restricted. As far as any state you wish, you can reside there. You can travel there to go and do your business. But before you went there, there are people who are the owner of the state, tribal people of the state, Ozuo, Mumu, little child in a grown-up body that got access to a smartphone. That is who you are. Fool. You are a little child that got access to a smartphone. Little child in a grown-up body that got access to a smartphone. You are saying everybody in Lagos. Can you imagine? Is that what had to counter before everybody in Lagos na Yoruba? So you want to go and tell the people in the royal house, in all the Yoruba states, that everybody in the royal house are not Yorubas. If they are not Yorubas, then that is who you are as well. That is the same style you people brought to the place you now call Benin. That is the same style. That is what we are saying in all actuality. The place you came that is now called Benin today, everybody there, they are not Benin. They are not Benin's. Okay. Okay. Call in, you cannot call in, so that people can even hear your voice when you are trying to counter all this. My phone number is there. You are there behind your typing pad. Mason is there lamenting, shooting himself on the foot the more, revealing to us that your enogis, your royal fathers, they are cultists. He is there revealing to us. Mason is there telling us that your royal fathers, they are cultists. Almost all of them, he said they are cultists. He said they are not original. He said the original people are the Odion race. They were only imposed. You be mumu. Imasun is there, thinking like as if he's fool, he's wise, not knowing that he is not wise. His followers, the few followers he has there, they are the mumu that are following mumu, that cannot rationalize what the man is saying. So the man is not coming, Imasun, the small goat is not coming to tell you people that your royal fathers, your royal highnesses, they are cultists. Now me talk, why you not go in Imasun page? Go tell us why they talk like that. Was he not the one who told us few days ago that your royal fathers, they are cultists? Who are they called? Those your enogis? Are they not called enogis? Is it not enogi atok me? No bona they tell them. As soon as they say about atok me, no be enogi atok bona they tell them. What is on their plate number? Is it not royal number? What is it called? Private number, and their name is called royal highnesses. Are they not your royal fathers? Idiots. Where did I told you that Esan built Benin Empire? You are a fool. Because your ears cannot pick things. Esan never built any. I said there is no such as Benin Empire. Fool. There is no such as Benin Empire. Esan joined, some Esan joined other multi-ethnic group of people to form Idu Igodo Migodo. That was what I said. When that Idu Igodo Migodo was obstructed by your Oba dynasty, the Esans who joined multi-ethnic, they talk multi-ethnic, okay. The Esans will join plenty people, plenty tribe, different tribe. May I break down the English because this Mumono they hear even the English when they speak. I say Esan, some Esan people join different tribe of people. Now be the multi-ethnic, different tribe, different ethnic group. They join them. Some Esan, not be all Esan. They join them, build Idu Igodo Migodo. That Idu Igodo Migodo, Nai Oba dynasty can come. The Oba dynasty, Nai be human eaters, human sacrifice dynasty, invading of people's kingdom, making harsh decrees. So, the Esan people, where they be joined before to form that Igodo Migodo, what will they come do? They can't decide to go back. Go back where? Go back to their house. This is foolish person. Don't you know that the people that formed Idu Igodo Migodo were neighboring kingdoms? They are not of one tribe. They are different languages. They are of different languages, different tribe of people. They are not of one tribe. Idu Igodo Migodo is not a tribe. It's not a race. It's not a language. Comprises of different group of people. that came to build. You cannot be part of what never existed. But when you join together to build, it now means you are part of. But if it was never in existence, you can't be part of it because it does not exist. You can't be part of what is not in existence. So after multi-ethnic group of people built Idu Igodo Migodo, they became parts of what they built. And that which they built, when your forefathers came from Yoruba land to come and destroy it, to come and introduce alien culture, such as using human being for sacrifice, they did what? They decided to go their way, to go back to where they came from. To go back to where they came from. You get it? So do you get? There is no such as Benin. Benin started after Idu Igodo Migodo. There is no such as Benin. It was Oromiyan who called the place Ile Binu, and the Portuguese that called the Ile Binu that Oromiyan called Benin. There is no such as Benin. Benin is a new identity, is a new name, is a new name. There is no such as Benin people. No people. You have been here, I've been narrating this. No people. Benin is not a group of people. Benin is not a race. Benin is not a language. The name Benin is a name of a geographical territorial area that comprises of multi-ethnic group of people. The name, the people that are not professing themselves as Benin are the one who monopolize the name to themselves only. No such as Benin people say, now this particular people now be Benin people. Now monopoly now the worry una the thing say if people refer to the Benin kingdom when they talk about, they are talking about you guys. No, they are not talking about you guys only. Listen and listen clearly well. Benin is not a tribe. Benin is not a language. Is there any such as Benin language that is studied in school? No. What you studying in school now is Edo language. When did Edo came into existence? Was it not during Oba Eware the First? Who was Edo? Who was Edo? I'm asking you, who was Edo? The people, the Dahomey people, they are French people. Do the Benin people understand French? They are Dahomey people, but because of that area, the British came and recorded as Benin, the area which the Portuguese referred to as Benin, the bites of that area, that territory, that area, were the Dahomey people. Later on, they decided to create their own republic with the name of that bite. And they were called Bites of Benin and Benin Republic. Benin, they are French. So do you want to tell me now that it's your Oba that gave birth to Benin people as well? They are children of Oba of Benin. When you go to Benin Republic, when you even tap Benin on Google, this your Benin kingdom will not come out, or except you put that your stupid Benin kingdom that has been inserted into Wikipedia. We'll just type Benin, you will see that it's Benin Republic that will pop up. When you go to Benin Republic, their culture is as unto even the Yoruba culture, which your royal house is practicing, which your Benin royal house is practicing. Where did Ugboni came from? Most of all these Enogis, are they not Ugboni? Is Ugboni not the first and foremost uprooted society inside Oba Palace of Benin? So how can you say you are not Yoruba? How can you say you are not Yoruba? You say you are the one that gave birth to everybody. That when they are not asking you, how come they are not speaking the same language? See, way you even spell Dahomey, you are a very foolish person. I thought I was speaking to somebody. Please spell this Dahomey correctly. At least if you cannot spell Dahomey, go and ask Google. You will see the correct spelling there. If you are not so stupid, look at the way you spell Dahomey. To show that you don't even know your left and right. You cannot even read, not talk of even write. You only manage your primary 6 living certificates. Knowledge you get. And you manage for year or Zuo. I just say I thought to be that person. Let me boom this idiot. It's not a good, it's not somebody to be talked to. But when I'm responding to you, I believe others are learning. You say now their language might change. It can't people where they inside those states where they travel come out where their language change. Fool. Can you understand the car? The Michael people. Do you understand their language at all? Do you understand the Sako language? Do you understand the one language in any way? You know nothing. It's better you learn now. Since you are not admitting that you are learning from me. So when you are learning, it's better you learn. Because if they're not course you now, they learn. If Benin is organic to you, there should be meaning of Benin in your language. If Edo is organic to you, there should be meaning of Edo in your language. How can you have a language how can you have a name that has no meaning in your spoken language? Can't you see that you have been alienized? This is what I am telling you. You have been alienized. Any name that is your tribal identity and that do not have meaning in your spoken language, it means that you have been alienized. British did not change their name, fool. British only came to saw that all those territory were already referred to as Ibinu. It was the territory, Bites. When you don't know the meaning of Bites again. When you have a kingdom, let me say beside the kingdom, the boundary of the kingdoms. The boundary of the kingdoms are referred to as the bite of it. It was already referred to as Benin because all those territorial area were nicknamed Ile Binu, and your ancestors have it in their music, Ile Binu Nebo, man. I think what I will do, I will tag your name, I will go and cut all those music. Prominent musicians, more than 5 that I know, different one. Each time I'm going to be posting them because of you, and I'll be tagging your name, hearing your prominent Benin musicians singing to say Ile Binu Nebo, man. It was that Ile Binu that the Portuguese who came for easy pronunciation, they call it Benin. It has no meaning. They only pronounce Ile Binu, land of vexation. They only pronounce it in the way it would be easy for them to pronounce. And that was how that name followed. Because the white people, the British who came, already dominated those Africa area, not only that area. They colonized, wrote their document down like that, their history down like that with the name they met. And in accordance to that name, those French people took it up and create their own republic. They don't want to be part and parcel of Benin, the place that is generally known as. They have to create their own republic first out. So that is it. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How you doing, my brother? What's up?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I'm doing well.
I've been following your enviable history. You're telling these people.
Thank you.
It's enlightenment. You try to enlighten our people. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And
to be precisely, I want you to tell the people where you are from, so that they will know that.
I am a bona fide born citizen of Wohimi, or part of those indigenous people of Eastern land.
Confirm.
And I just want to, I'm based here in New York. I just want to tell you something. You see, we Eastern people, we are not like questions with what, when we are telling our story, we don't pose, negatively like questions. All we are doing, we just giving people enlightenment as to, about the history of Eastern. Like you, I've been listening to you, kept saying you are not fighting people. You are just giving people history so that they can learn,
Exactly.
But the other animal who is a royal goat in the palace of the Benin people is a royal goat that is ready to be sacrificed for those people. So don't even bother with that animal. So as per the history of the Benin, there is a friend of mine here. He's a professor in University of Connecticut. And being a friend, relating with that guy became one of my best friends here in the United States. And I was able to tap with the little history that I know about the Benin, about the Benin. I don't mean the Benin back in Nigeria there. I mean the Benin Republic, Benin Republic.
Yeah.
And actually the guy is a historian. The guy was able to give me a very powerful history about the history of our people. When I told that guy I'm from Mission, he said, what part of Mission? He has been to that Eastern area. The guy was able the way this guy enlightened me about Eastern, especially Upiaja, how the people of Benin Republic, how they pay homage to the people of Upiaja, the royal family in Upiaja land. I was flabbergasted. He said, do you know that language, the name they used to call Benin Republic, Itahome? He said it's an Asian name. It's actually
Dameho.
Right.
Yes.
So where he said that name is from Upiaja, Itahome, Uwana Wemire. That was how they said after the couple. These Benin people, they don't travel. That's one problem with them. They live in their little circle, mental kind of like traditional dungeons that they don't listen. They don't. And I'm not generalizing. Elements of them, because majority of them, they are very wise. They know what is going on. But those elements that really knows what is going on, they are behind a closed door. They are not getting tangling up with all these traditional Taliban that are looking for, that are hunting for land. So you see, those Benin Republic, it was Upiaja people that set up their empire right there. If you go ahead and read the history of that, Itahome, it's an Upiaja, it's an Esane. So when I was taught the history, I said, wow, this is because I wasn't really a kind of like interested in the history of what is going on, all those areas. But I discovered that a number of these like when you go to Lagos and they have what they call Agbado, all those areas, even in Benin, you have Agbado. These are Asian conquered regions. You understand what I mean? So our ethnocentric history is something that we just kind of hide. We were not actually willing to be telling the issue because we were just trying to, with our innate and natural accommodation or hospitality. We just try to flow and accommodate everybody. But like you said, it's like those our hospitality and accommodation that we have. It's like it was not being taken for granted, and lopsidedly our history was now being told by these losers. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
That I was talking about. That I need to go read the history. He would discover that it was actually Isha people.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let me quickly Let me quickly make reference to my ODC. The Benin people, they are saying they are the one who extended kingdom from left, right, and center. Go and read my ODC, written by Zeke. himself. And he started narrating his maternal and paternal relations. And what the name he used was Benin. But what we are trying to tell people, when people say Benin, they don't mean the royal house, the people who now occupy the royal house. They mean the territorial area that was referred to as Benin. The people that left there, their connection left there. That place, Benin, is as unto transit for most people. So the people that left there, when he narrated down, he said the first man that left there and went to go and settle and find Onitsha, his name is Prince Ohime. Ohime any Edo, no matter the similarities we have, essence has their essence name that the Benin don't bear, they don't know the meaning. But when people just hear Benin, these people that call themselves Benin today, they will think that everything is for them because they have already wrapped up everything, encapsulated it in their monopoly identity. They encapsulated everything in their monopolized identity. I like the word this man that called him used now. Traditional Talibans. That is who they are. They set up a particular mafia network to Beninize people. Benin is not a tribe. When people say they come from Benin, they are not saying that they came from you that is now known as Benin person. That is not what they are. They are telling you the geographical location they moved out from. And Prince Ohime is not Edo name. I don't know if you're getting this. Esan land was not referred to. This idiot is still saying that means it was Ile Binu that left Esan land and went and settled down in Benin Republic. No, Esan land was not part of Benin. Esan land was not even referred to as Benin. You don't get it. The Esan people that joined to form Idu Igodomigodo, they went back to Esan land. It's not called Benin. That place was called. Okay, I want to ask you, if Esan land was Benin, all the walls, you want me to start? Okay, we've posted all this history before. Yeah, I've posted them all. I will be doing reposting because today I just unblock some of you idiots to come and listen. Now, if Esan was Benin, the war that was fought in Esan, which one any Benin people came to resist as their kingdom? No one. There were external wars that the Esan fought, that they brought into Esan land, and the Esan fought and conquered them. Did you hear that any Oba of Benin came to fight the people that was fighting Esan? Because Esan is a distinct nation, a distinct kingdom on its own, not Benin. We are only neighboring people. When British invaded Benin, after they invaded Benin, within 7 days, which was 3 days, they also went for Esan. Have you studied the invasions in Africa, the British invasion in Africa or Nigeria? You will now see the ones that will pop up. So Benin and Esan land are not the same. Benin kingdom never extended to Esan land. It was the Esan people that left that Benin and went and settled alongside the Esans, sons and daughters that already had their settlements. Who told you I'm afraid? I'm afraid. I've been here for hours. I'm afraid. You always come upon my page on a daily basis. I don't and wine with idiots. I block idiots. If you choose to remain an idiot, just like do you see how long it has taken me to continue to enlighten and sensitize you? Is that fear? I block idiots who want to come and distort the space of learning. So I will keep blocking people who choose to remain an idiot. So do you not get it? Do you know that the Islamization agenda or the Fulani Caliphate, they would have been able to Fulanize all that part that is called Edo State? It was the essence that stopped it, down to Agbede. The Benin took part in it, all the way from Ewu in Esan land. If you get to Ewu today, you will see Esan indigenous people that are bearing Islamic name. Shaka Momodu, Musa Momo, Musa Mohammed. These are Esans in Esan land. But because the Fulani Caliphate, they took part in that their conquest war, they tried to conquer Esan. Because Esan is not close to the Benin. Because that territory you all have, we are neighbors. We are not close to the Benin. Esan is the center. We are the heartbeat. We have northern parts and eastern parts, northeast of the Esan, or northwest of the Esan, so to say. Esan is not in a landlocked location like Edo. If Esan break out of Edo State, Edo is in a landlocked territory. Edo is in a landlocked territory. From that river Niger, if the bridge is appropriately done, there to Ozigono, Ugbo, her houses, or asses, so to say, you just have 20 minutes to the east, 20-minute drive to the east. So the Esan people were the one who fought back the Fulani Caliphate. And they were able eating down, deep down their conquest mission. They took Ewu, took Agbede, took Auchi, Esako. Go and read. You don't know nothing. Agbede and Esans, Agbede speak Esan language dialects. Esako speak Esan language dialects. Esan people play Esako music. We play Auchi music. They also play Esan music because they can understand. If you listen to Waziri, Young Bolivia, and you listen to Esan's music, you will not be able to differ. The two sound alike, the same vowel. We play each other music. But you know nothing. You will remain inside that your Oredocrats, traditional Taliban, not even knowing your left, right, and center, what is happening there. And somebody will come here and be committing nonsense that you are hearing too much about Esan. Do you know how many people that have benefited from what I have taught them now, that I have invested quality hours? That people don't even know this. We are not close to Benin, though. People are having that wrong orientation. It's just that we are in the same state. We are not close to Benin at all. The closest people to Esan are Onwa, Esako, Afeman. Before you get to Benin, you know how many miles you will travel. But if the state is divided today, under 20 minutes, we don't reach Onitsha. They don't know all these things. They just remain there. They zombie themselves. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Odinaloba. Only 15 minutes away from Ewohimi town on the Chame market. So when we are even talking of closeness, not even Benin's, do not assume that their language sound more similar to our own. It's their language that sounds similar to our language. Nobody is telling you that it was Ile Binu. Stop torchlighting. Pick knowledge and be well enlightened so that I will not block you. Nobody is telling you that it was Ile Binu people that left. There was no people called Ile Binu. Oromiyan only referred to the place as Ile Binu. There were no people called Ile Binu. There were no people called Bini. Oromiyan only nicknamed the place Ile Binu. And that name, you know, some people have nicknames. There are a lot of people that it's even their nickname people call them. It's even their nickname people call them. You don't even know their name. You will not be asking which name your papa give you. So it was the nickname that Oromiyan gave, being that they were the one who came to occupy the royal house. And he's the son that started Oba dynasty. The nickname became more loud. That was why even your own ancestors and your musicians, if they are singing, they sing with Ile Binu and they refer to Ile Binu Nebuhe. And they use the word Ile Binu Nebuhe. So it's the nickname that the Portuguese people pronounce as Benio or Zuo. Not be saying that people, there is no such as Ile Binu people that left to go and form Portuguese. What is it called? Dahomey. So, Nahim. All right, my people. Let me leave it here for now. And let me see if I have any missed call. Okay. Okay, no missed calls. All right. So we are good to go. We are good to go. We are good to go. Should in case you still have any question, you can ask your question before I go. So what Benin means is not clarified, right? What Benin means is not clarified. Yeah, it's a second to none. What Benin means is not clarified. Benin, don't assume when people say they come from Benin or they came from Benin, they are saying that it's the people that now profess themselves today as Benin that they came out from. Those people only monopolize Benin to themselves only because they want to dominate, because they want to profess themselves as supreme. They are not the people that we refer to Benin or as Benin only. That is why Benin has no meaning in their spoken language. See, if you have a question, my number is there. Call in, and the time you use to write, you have a question. You use it to write your question. Let me ask, how old are you, please? Are you 19 years old or you are 18 years old? Because you talk like a child. How old are you? Are you underage? If you're underage, I can understand. So that I will not insult you again. First of all, tell me, Freedom, how old are you? Because your conduct is as unto it. You've been commenting since. And now you want to ask a question. You are writing, I have a question. The time you use in typing, I have a question. Why not type out your question or call the number to ask your question? How old are you? Please, I want to know. Tell us your age. Because it is evidently clear that you are a teenager. You are a teenager. All right, my people. Bye for now.